Hey friends, welcome back to another Off the Farm adventure. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, and that instead of a hike, we're getting on a bike in winter. So I don't know if you can tell or not in the camera, but I do have my bike with me. It's attached to the back of the truck right now. It is a bike specifically meant for riding in the winter. It's called a fat bike, so the tires on it are almost 5 inches wide. And we're going to a really cool place up north where they actually groom trails for specifically fat biking, winter biking. So we'll do that tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been on a bike for a while, unfortunately. Generally I ride really 3 to 5 times a week, all during the summer, and I just haven't rode this winter, so I'm probably going to be super out of shape. Hashtag heavy breathing. And no, your eyes are not tricking you. I am not driving my Chevy Colorado, and there's a good reason for it. I no longer own it. Now, for those of you that seen my community post, that's what I was referring to when I said some of you might think I'm crazy, because I just did all the work in the back of that Colorado, including literally the last video I put out where I finally got my diesel heater installed. Well, a lot's happened in 2 weeks. So my 2 to 3 year plan was always to get a bigger truck. The Colorado was awesome. I got zero complaints about the Colorado. It never let me down. I never had any issues with it. But I do pull a 23-foot camper, and the Colorado did it just fine, but it was a big camper for it. It was under its max tow capacity. However, it was still a lot of camper for that truck. So, you know, the goal was always to get a slightly bigger truck. I don't need a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton. I just wanted to upgrade to a 1/2 ton truck, but I wanted to stick with a diesel because I went to college to be a diesel mechanic, and diesels are what I know. I feel most comfortable with a diesel, and I use this truck every week for my job, and I travel a lot for my job. So I wanted a 1/2 ton truck that got decent fuel mileage, which this does. It doesn't get quite as good as my diesel Colorado did, but it's close. And I just wanted a bigger cab. I'll sometimes have coworkers riding around with me for my job. The negatives: it's got a shorter box than my Colorado. My Colorado had a 6-foot 2-inch box. This has got a 5-foot 7-inch box. To me, it's not a big negative because I sleep on my side with my legs bent anyways. Even if I could have a 8-foot box and I would still sleep the same way. So, long story short, in 2 to 3 years I was planning on looking for this exact truck. Either this exact truck or a GMC with the 3-liter diesel in it. But this truck has slightly more cab room, especially in the back. I kind of had a strict criteria. I wanted it to be a 3-liter diesel. I wanted it to be full crew cab, and I also wanted a 1/2 ton so it would pull a camper a little more with a little more ease and lower miles. And the plan was in 2 to 3 years to upgrade to something like that. And I couldn't not buy it, especially since it was so clean. So yeah, we start over. I got almost everything out of the old truck and put in this truck as far as truck camping gear. That's the nice thing about having a no build. It's set up in a unique way that I personally have not seen on YouTube, so I'll be anxious to show you that. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'll explain why it's set up like that when we get in the back, when we get to where we're going. I got about a 2-hour trip to get to where we're going, and I don't have any window coverings or anything like that set up yet, so we're just gonna be okay with that for this trip. Oh, and I did take the diesel heater out of the Colorado. I have not got it installed in this truck yet. I've had a really busy couple of weeks. Last week I was in Milwaukee for work. This week I was in Minneapolis for work. I just haven't had a whole lot of time, but I did get everything else. I missed the headroom, but everything else is fine. I actually like it better. Alright friends, we're in the camper. As you can see, there's not quite as much headroom. My head's hitting right here. I mean, it's not a drastic difference. I could still, my head touched on the other one too. I just wasn't quite as leaned over. But I don't know if you can tell or not. I got the cot in here and all that, but I got the cot sideways in the box, friends. It's just as, it's the same width as it is long. So it's actually a little bit wider. It's 5'7" long and it's 5'9" wide. Of course, that is measuring from in here across on both sides, so it's not accounting for the width you lose right here where the bed rail is. But if you account for that, it's roughly the same as the length. So it's literally no different whether I have it the lengthways or the widthways. And I like the widthways because it keeps my sleeping bag and cot and mat and all that away from the back door, where there tends to be, like when you're driving in wet conditions, some of the mist can come in and get the bottom of the sleeping bag wet. I personally have not seen anyone else truck camping with their setup sideways. I was lucky in that the cot that I got, the roll-a-cot from Camp Time, it fits perfectly sideways in here, and it fits lengthways. So when I ordered this cot, the advertised measurement was 67.5, but when you actually physically measure this cot, it is 65 inches. I don't know if that's every cot. All I can tell you for certain is I ordered the blue mesh roll-a-cot that was 67.5 inches long, and the one I got is 65 inches right on the nose, which actually is good, because if it was 67.5 inches long, it would not fit in this truck. But this floor plan, the way it is here, is much better than in the other truck. Literally, this would be a perfect setup if I had 4 more inches of headspace. But as you can see, you literally have all that floor space in front of you now. Now on camera it doesn't look too big, but I mean, my feet are probably only halfway across that to the back tailgate, and there's still tons more room underneath that I can store stuff. And now I can set up my table in front of me and not have to use my cooler for a table. In the other truck, I did not have room to set up the table in front of me. I had to use the cooler. So it's definitely different. Everything that was in the old truck's in here, minus the diesel heater, and that's eventually going to get put in. And to be honest, I didn't plan on buying a truck solely to truck camp in. My truck needs to be good at so many other things. To be quite honest, how well you can truck camp in it is really low on the priority, because honestly you can just about truck camp in any truck. As you can see, topper was thrown in. I mean, can't complain there. So where are we at? We are about 2 hours north of where I live, doing exactly what I recommend all of you don't do, which is be far away from home the first time you're trying something out. This will be the first night that I stay in this setup. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I have a pretty cool fail-safe. You can't see now because it's too dark out, but I'll show you in the morning. So my family, my grandparents, they actually have a cabin about 7 miles from where I'm going to be fat biking. So I'm actually in the driveway of the cabin. I opened up the garage door, ran an extension cord in, plugged it in, so we got electric. However, I am not staying in the cabin. I could, but I don't want to. I want to stay in the truck, see how it goes, and in the event that it's just awful or something catastrophic happens, I have the cabin literally 20 feet away from me. But I'm getting hungry. Oh, that's so nice. So much more room. I did try out the back of this a little bit, just at home. Couldn't do that in my other truck. This is insanely comfortable. Now fast forward to summer when it's not single digits outside, which, oh, I'm longing for that. These lights are awesome. Shout out to my Aunt Laura. I love these lights. Oh, and don't worry, friends. I will get another American flag for the roof. I like that on the Colorado. I'm going to turn that into a tradition and keep that going. And even eventually when I get a different topper that's taller in a year or two, I'll put another American flag on that one. We're going to make something simple tonight, friends. I hope anyways, that I got all the ingredients to make some grilled cheese with tomato soup. I guess I'm going to open up these windows before I start cooking. So I stopped at Quick Trip, world's best convenience store, to get some sliced cheese and couldn't find any. But I did pick this up. It's 1 slice Genoa salami with 2 slices of Colby Jack cheese. So I think what we're gonna do is I picked up 2 of them. I think we're just gonna put the cheese and salami on the grilled cheese. So it'll be a grilled cheese with salami. Can started leaking. Not sure what happened there, friends. My gas can started leaking, like liquid. Oh, by the way, now that I got the windows open, you can see there's part of the garage to the cabin. Oh yeah, it's burnt now. I was busy showing you guys the cabin, and I burnt my gosh darn grilled cheese. I'm not gonna lie, grilled cheese and tomato soup is one of my favorite foods. I'm not leaning over to the side like this because there's no space above me. I'm just basically trying not to make a mess, so I'm eating over the pan. Alright, friends, so we got the Decline and the Red Notice. Those are the 2 that I have downloaded. I have not watched yet. I think I'll start with Red Notice. We'll see you after that's done. It's still snowing out a little bit. Good morning, friends. Wow, there's a lot of snow up here. I could tell there was a lot last night when I got in, but it was dark. During the day you can just notice a little bit more how much snow is up here. A lot of snow. I see a tree fell on the wood pile. It's 17 degrees outside, so I definitely got to get those little air gaps sealed up better on each side of the tailgate. See if they got a seal kit for this truck or something, because it definitely lets some cold air in. The electric heater, I just have it on low. It's got low and high, and it kept it at 56 degrees. But yeah, check that shirt out. It says let the beet drop, and it's a beet like a vegetable. This shirt's from one of the farm YouTube channels I watch called Cog Hill Farm. I got a couple of their shirts. Well, I'm gonna get ready for the day here, or we'll see. Maybe go in and see if we can get some breakfast or something in town. I'll tell you what, friends, this truck's got a heated steering wheel and it is amazing. So we're just gonna run into town, see if we can get a bite to eat. I got some time to kill, so actually one of my friends is meeting me up here. He's from the same town I'm from, so he's also driving about 2 hours. Ooh, spinning out a little bit. We're gonna go to a place called Levis Mound, and they have hiking and biking trails and snowshoeing, and then they also have groomed fat biking trails and groomed cross-country ski trails. Alright, friends, per usual, stopped at the old local Quick Trip. Got a ham and western omelet and cheese bagel. Just some normal cold coffee with a splash of milk and vanilla. I try to get these ones because there's not too much sugar in them. A lot of those have like over 46 grams of sugar, which is like the same level as pop almost. And this has 15 grams, so not quite as bad. Sorry about the brakes, friends. So the brakes got wet while I was driving with this behind the truck, and these brakes will squeak like that until they get warmed up, and then they quit squeaking. Oh, I don't know about this. So the snow was pretty soft, and soft snow. These are groomed trails, but as the temperatures warm up, the snow gets soft. Also, there was a lot of people walking on this section. I'm not sure why, but it kind of ruined the trail. But basically, the snow was a little soft today to have ideal conditions. So it was quite hard to ride, but still extremely a lot of fun. Trail conditions aren't ideal, but we got the pressure in the tires lowered to 4 pounds, which is helping a lot. And I got fairly wide tires on this, so oh, this looks interesting. Oh man, I'm out of shape. It looks like some deer were walking in the trail there. You probably can't tell on camera, but this has been all uphill. So you can see, friends, wherever somebody walks on the trail, it just ruins it. Okay. Holy, yeah, there's a tree right there. See, I didn't have my seat down.
Oh, I almost made it. I tried.
The second you're off a little bit, you're done for. Oh man, if this don't improve your balance, I don't know what will. Here we go. Yep, there we go. All right, friends, so conditions weren't great today. The snow was pretty soft, unfortunately. The weather just didn't get as cold as it needed to for the trails to set up last night, and then the temperature rose really fast today. So as you could see, there was a lot of trenches, a lot of people walking on it. They call it post holing, making holes in the trail, and all that kind of added up to trails that were really hard to stay upright and balanced on, but it was still fun. I love doing stuff like that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of fat biking in the winter. It won't be the last time we do that. We have some local trails where I'm from. I'd like to hit those up, you know, 1 or 2 more times this year, so we'll definitely bring you guys with on that. Let me know your thoughts on the new setup, I guess. New truck, new setup in the back with the cot sideways instead of lengthways. I don't know that I've seen anyone else on YouTube with their cot sideways. If my box was longer, it wouldn't make any sense to have it sideways because you'd want to put the cot long ways in the box, but this box is literally a square. It's within a couple inches, and it's actually a couple inches wider than it is long. So at that point, might as well have the cot sideways. Last night was the first night in the new setup, and I like everything about it except for there's slightly more air gaps, which I gotta fix, and there's less headroom. So I was gonna get the topper painted to match and all that, but I'll probably just leave it charcoal gray because I don't foresee having it longer than a year or two, and then I'll get something taller. As always, friends, to everyone in the armed forces, thank you greatly for your service. If you want to catch up on my last video, go ahead and click this link here. Or if you want to catch up on all my videos, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and click on this link right here. And we'll see you on the next adventure. Later, friends.